that you all are responsible parents. Ensure the strollers are in on the escalators. As you get along to the tables in the middle area, we will move on and all of that is stroller worthy. It is under surveillance in that case. If you let the stroller be upper locked, it is not under surveillance. So we'll go back and get a turning down here to the picture of the stroller February 17th is the official opening day for Super Nintendo World. So even though you're celebrating your birthday now, I hope you come back and celebrate with Super Nintendo World opening.
Want to make sure everybody's all lined up on those stars. If there's not enough room for all of your family or friends, do not worry. Just wait for the back of that area. We'll get you on the next tram after this one. Stay behind that red line and do not board this tram until you're
right now. There is a lot of filming happening in our lot, so have your cameras and cell phones ready. There's a lot of television equipment out there killing it.
All right, stay behind that red line for your safety. You too will get a tram coming up in a moment. When you do go to board, please note if you're on row 1 or 2. Row 1 you should board first, row 2 follows them on. That way you'll be stepping on your toes. We have a tram moving up. Please do not board this tram until I tell you to do so. Wait for it. Wait a little more. Just a minute more. There we go. All right, this time row 1 boards first, row 2 follows them on. Everybody moves all the way over to the right-hand side, filling in all the people. You want to go digital off their feet and onto the tram. Well, wait long enough.
My name is Zach. I'm going to be your fabulous guide for today's experience. But before we continue, alrighty, folks, say goodbye to everyone over there in the load line. Goodbye, load line.
All right, this tram is moving right behind that red line.
I'm just kidding, folks. This is in about 45 minutes to an hour, but until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Before we get this party officially started, I would like to introduce my co-host for the tour. You might recognize him from as the host of The Tonight Show. Also, That's My Jam on NBC. Give it up for the one and only Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure you get through this experience.
Zach.
And the greatest drive.
Corey.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Zach.
owed me $5.
What?
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Jimmy, I thought we forgot all about the incident, but I guess not. Well, that's awkward. Yes, folks, you guys right with you a few safety rules to go over, so please take a look at the screens above you. Now, first and foremost, if at any point during the tour you need any guest assistance, or you're experiencing a medical emergency, or if you drop something of value off the side of the tram, or have any sound or video issues, reach up and grab that red emergency cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please remember to remain seated and keep your arms, legs, tails, fins, wings, whatever else you got going on inside the tram at all times. And of course, remember to use that red cord above your head for any assistance. Also, please keep in mind the studio is private property, but anytime during the tour you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, reach up and pull that red cord to get my attention and remain seated. Also, please no smoking of any kind during the tour. Additionally, be prepared because our tour today features loud noises, sudden tram movements, fire effects, and many water effects. Hi there, Transformers. Hi there, guys. I also want to have your cameras on for great photo opportunities, but keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. And finally, for your safety, for the safety of the folks around you, please do not use selfie sticks while on board. Alrighty, folks. You hear that? That's the sound of us leaving the theme park and embarking on the world famous Universal Studio Tour. Coming up right over here on the right-hand side is the last bit of reality we're going to see for quite some time. This is an actual full-functioning fire station, Fire Station 51. It is named after the fire station that used in the television show Emergency, an NBC television program from the late 1970s. Here in Hollywood, we like to picture to some of our biggest programs and some of the big artists that have truly revolutionized not just Universal, but universally changed Hollywood as well. You may notice that a lot of our street names are named after favorite directors, makeup artists, and stars. So definitely keep those eyes peeled. You never know who or what you're going to see here on the studio lot. Now, with that being said, there are several active productions shooting here on the lot today, some of which are under NDAs, which are non-disclosure agreements. So basically, I'm not allowed to talk about them because I would get fired, and I love my job very much. I love my job very much, Universal. But that does not mean you guys can't look around and be observant and take lots of photos and videos. So definitely make sure to keep those eyes peeled. Now, our very first stop here in the studio tours is building right over here on the left-hand side. This is Soundstage 12. It's one of our largest and oldest sound stages. Inside that soundstage are filmed some incredible movies like Frankenstein from 1931. We've also built the inside of Dracula's castle, starring Bela Lugosi. That's also where those Scarface's entire mansion. Film scenes from Back to the Future and Jurassic Park as well. And also one of my favorite holiday movies, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Now this is what the inside of one of our sound stages looks like. Many of these buildings right over here on the left-hand side, that's what they look like on the inside. It's a big, empty warehouse, which why would you want to film in a big, empty warehouse? Well, for all productions that utilize any of our sound stages from the line, anything can be done. As long as you have a good imagination, lots of creative people on your team, and also a good sizable production budget, you can literally do anything. Inside of Soundstage 12 that we've been over distance by, as well as HBO's award-winning comedy series, which is currently shooting season 3. Now speaking of Bel Air, coming up over here on the left-hand side is their base camp. The base camp is the essential heart and soul of every production. This is where the lighting, the camera equipment, all the big electrical equipment will be stored throughout the day. It's also where the cast members' trailers will be. So right over here on the left, you'll see these big star wagons. That's where the stars of the show will kind of sit back and relax in between shooting, going over lines or scenes that are being shot that day, or really even catching up on homework with some of our child stars. Coming up over here on the left-hand side is one of my favorite sound stages, which you're probably wondering, Zach, how did you have a favorite sound stage? Isn't there over 36 sound stages? Well, this one's my favorite. Because over here on the left, that's where they filmed the majority of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, starring Jim Carrey. It's also where they filmed a very popular scene, a famous scene from the Jurassic Park movie. Remember that scene where the Brontosaurus or Brachiosaurus sneezes on the kids while they're hiding out in the tree? We filmed right inside of there. It's also where Brian Howard recreated massive headquarters for his film Apollo 13. So let's take a look. Mr. Howard, take it away.
Realism was an essential element for Apollo 13. After all, we were recreating an important moment in American history, a moment many Americans witnessed on television. We thought about filming in Houston, Texas, where the original control room for the Apollo missions still exists. Unfortunately, NASA's engineers didn't have filmmaking in mind when they built Mission Control. Since there was no room for the elaborate camera cranes and tracks we used on the side, we had to build our own Mission Control. Everything had to be exact, even down to the tiniest detail.
Thanks, Mr. Howard. And here in Hollywood, those tiny little details truly matter. But how exactly do we go about creating those tiny details or projects as a whole? Well, the first step is something known as pre-production, which happens right over here on the left-hand side. These are our pre-production bungalows. Some of the biggest companies of the day have their offices located right here on the Universal Studios lot. For example, we have a 7 Bucks production, which we come in a studio over on the left-hand side. It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. The name comes from when he first moved to Orlando, Florida, when he was doing the WWE. He only had $7 in his pocket, but I hear he has double that now in his pocket. Right over here is 7 Bucks Production, which is actually right next door to Monkey Kong Productions, which is Jordan Peele's production company, which helped create and bring to life some of these greatest films like Get Out, Us, and more. Has anyone seen the movie, by the way? Raise your hand. Okay, so there's, oh, I see you back there, Car 4. How you doing? So yes, we have Universal partnered up with Jordan Peele for that production, and we have a little surprise great inventory for any of our big Jordan Peele fans. And also coming up on the left-hand side is Bungalow 5195. That is the former office of Mr. Alfred Hitchcock, one of the most critically acclaimed directors of Hollywood and cinema's history, with creating films like Hope, Psycho, and The Purge, some of the scariest, most thrilling movies of our time. Now also coming up over here on the left-hand side are some rather unique sound stages. These are sound stages 22 and 23, which really makes them so unique. Well, connected literally right next to them, these buildings up front are actually more production offices, which is rather convenient for productions, and especially stars like Kenan Thompson when he's filming is Joaquin right over here on the left-hand side. You can actually go check in with the office and the production coordinator of the day to make sure everything was on schedule, everything was on budget. You'll get a breakfast burrito from craft services or the catering tables, and then walk right down the hall into Soundstages 22 and 23. Now, definitely take a look over here on the left-hand side. That's one of those big projects that I'm not really supposed to talk about, but it looks like a very interesting project is going down. Well, anyway, we talked a lot about history and reproductions and such, but Film Universe I'd love to show you guys not only how we make the movies, but also you in your very own feature film. So here to introduce the next portion of our tour, Hitchcock. So, Mr. Jackson, take it away. That's not it. That's not the right one. Peter Jackson, where you at?
It's the original King Kong that maybe 30 years ago. I saw that movie on TV and it's about $8 million. I like films that are just ship to the sand to the Lost Island, you encounter monsters and creatures from prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to stay, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
Alrighty folks, before we can return to Skull Island, just a friendly reminder to remain seated at all times to keep those arms and legs inside of the tram, and also please note flash photography. Also make sure that you look good at Tram's support mat and your useful locking, especially if you're sitting right next to the edge of the tram. If anything does happen to fall on the tram while we're inside this building, unfortunately, not able to call the tram to retrieve it until the very end of the day. Y'all, just want to check in with everybody. Did anyone get spit on by a dinosaur in there? Show of hands. Oh, I know you guys think the front row. Oh, part two? Oh boy. Well, don't you worry, folks. Your Universal is actually considered good luck, so hopefully the rest of our tour goes a lot smoother than our good over there on Skull Island. Now, King Kong 360 is an epic battle projected on some of the world's largest digital 3D screens, standing about 40 feet tall and over 180 feet long. To put that into perspective, these buildings right over here on the left-hand side are metropolitan centers. Those buildings are about 50 feet tall, so pretty big screen. That's one of the super ones you have. It's really absolutely incredible. Now, King Kong 360 was not created solely in part by Peter Jackson. It was done in a conjoined effort with his digital animation team, where that effect with his want to check in with everyone. This does require a little bit of audience participation, so when I call on your car name, I need you guys to holler, make some semblance of noise to make sure, well, I want to make sure that you guys are still doing okay. So, car 1, how you guys doing? Okay. Car 2, how you guys feeling? I think we lost him. Car 3, are you still there? Okay, car 2, you got some competition. Car 4, how you guys feeling? It's like a whisper in the wind, I don't care. Car 5, how you guys feeling? Car 5? Ooh, no. Corey, I think car 5 got eaten by dinosaurs again. Oh, no! That's so terrible. I feel so bad for them. Just kidding, folks. Car 5 is actually what we saw appear on the screen while we were inside King Kong 360 3D. Car 5, when it appeared on screen, became what's known in the industry as a picture car. Much like these vehicles over here on the left-hand side, a picture car is simply any vehicle that is seen on screen, whether it's driving our main characters around or even just parked on the screen. And also, a picture car doesn't have to be just a car. It can be a plane, a train, an automobile, a boat, a bird scooter, a skateboard. If it has wheels and goes fast, it's a picture car. But some of my favorite picture cars are right over here on the left-hand side. You may recognize some of these big celebrities. One of my favorites is the Ford Anglia from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Actually, fun fact, it's one of 17.5 Ford Anglias that was utilized for that film. We also got Paul Walker's Nissan Skyline from Too Fast, Too Furious. Alright, Paul. One of our latest additions is the Fry's Electronics van from Jordan Peele's latest film, Nope, as well as the Crawdaddy boat from his film, Us. Now take a look over there on the left-hand side. You'll see the poster for the movie Us, starring Lupita Nyong'o. If you're familiar with the film, you may recognize that pair of scissors has a very interesting design. Now, Jordan Peele is a master at foreshadowing, which is a literary technique in which the author or screenwriter alludes to a major plot development or character revelation later on in the story. So if you've seen the film, so you know exactly what I'm talking about, that twist ending at the very end of the movie, or any of his films like Get Out, Nope. If you haven't seen those films though, I highly recommend checking them out. In fact, you can stream Nope exclusively on Peacock, which is NBC Universal streaming service, until March 17th. Also, Peacock is free. So, just put it out there. It's F-R-E-E. But now, folks, we are going to take a small little detour from the regular studio tour route and go visit a small island off the coast of Costa Rica.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Thanks, Grandpa. Dr. Pam is my grandpa. Did you know that? It's awesome. But yes, folks, welcome to Jurassic Park. Coming up on the left and right-hand side are a few iconic props and vehicles from the Jurassic Park franchise. Now, what exactly is a prop? A prop is simply anything that is not nailed down to a set that can be handled by actors. So, for example, my sunglasses, or the clipboard, or water bottle that I'm holding are all great examples of props. Now, of course, some props are a bit more intricate and involved, kind of like these big stars right over here on the right-hand side. Corey, they're like dinosaurs. They're not their engines. Oh boy, this is so embarrassing. Oh no, there they are. Oh no. Don't worry, folks, the dinosaur spit here is completely 100% non-toxic, right, Corey? Don't worry about it, folks. Anyway, coming up over here on the left-hand side are some very special trees. Which ones make these trees very special? Well, like most people in Hollywood, they're fake. They're actually made out of foam rubber as well as chicken wire to help give them their structure and shape. And then our art department comes in to give it more lifelike shading and dimensions to make it look like a tree that's existed since the prehistoric times. But here in SoCal, we're in what's known as a desert climate, so sometimes having live plants on set can be really tricky. We'll also having to have rain on film and camera can sometimes be rather tricky when you're shooting a project in the middle of the desert. So how exactly do we can make rain on camera? Well, here in Quebec, we'll have a nice little weather demonstration. Don't worry, everything you're going to see and hear on this intro, kind of the weather today. But, once again, another further reminder to sit back, relax, remain seated at all times, and also keep those arms and legs inside the tram at all times. Now, once we hit our mark, we're going to have our lights, our camera, and our action. There we go. We only a few guys, but we're doing all good. And the thunderstorm you're seeing and hearing around you is being projected around Soundstages speakers that have been strategically placed along the top of the compressor. We're going to have big floodlights, straight lights for our lightning, and of course, our wonderful rain. Obviously, it's not coming directly from behind us, coming from a very advanced system that is wonderful. It's called sprinklers. Yes, same with the use of water, your fun and backyard filming here in Hollywood. The set being built down to actually come from high level. And also, I like to hear it work with camera. You said that we have lights behind them. But there's a few pictures of my job. Let's see what we do for illuminating. Put them on camera. And there's a low. Oh my goodness. Cut the water off. Cut the water. Let's play. That didn't have any little monsters on board. Fans of Lady Gaga, not small children, but if you're a fan of Lady Gaga, you might recognize that flash flood from the iconic music video for Judas was shot right over there on that flash flood area, as well as right over here on the left-hand side in Old Mexico. This was also the set for Janet Jackson's Escapade movie. It was also used in an episode of Westworld, season 1, episode 4, where they transformed Old Mexico to the city of Playa. Parents, fair warning, the entire show is not family friendly, so watch it when the kids go to bed. Also, one of my favorite locations coming up over here on the left-hand side is this little red door with a cross on it. That was the home to Jack Black's character, Nacho Libre, for the film Nacho Libre, which also shot right over here in Old Mexico. But now, folks, we're saying adios to Old Mexico, and howdy do for the Old West. Welcome to Six Ponds, Texas. Now, 6 Point took its name from way, way, way back during the silent era of film, when we had figured out how to capture both sound and video at the same time. So back then, all of our films were silent. That's the name of the silent era. And here at 6 Points, we could film in 6 westerns all at the same time. That's the name, 6 Points. Of course, over the years, however, technology has evolved, and so was our 6 Point Street. Some of the classic westerns that I filmed here include Destiny Rides Again and My Little Chickadee featuring Mae West. But more recent productions that I've shot here, we've shot an episode of Never Have I Ever. The Quantum Leap reboot has actually been shooting here quite recently. One of the bigger productions I shot here over the past few years was Quentin Tarantino's 9th film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yes, folks, we are breathing the same air as Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Oh, I'm still getting a tour. That's what I was saying. Just a friendly reminder, folks, we're approximately halfway through the studio tour. So once again, just a friendly reminder to remain seated at all times during the studio tour. And keep in mind, the studio is private property, so that anytime during the tour you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, reach up and pull that red and bird cord to get my attention. Remain seated, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Now this big body of water that's coming up here on the left-hand side, it used to be known as the Hollywood Ocean, which is not looking like much of an ocean. That's why we changed the name to Park Lake. Park Lake served as the Amazon River for our 1854 Creature from the Black Lagoon. It's also the primary set for our first movie, Showboat. Came out in 1930. Has anyone seen the movie Showboat? Nope, exactly. Not of anyone else when it first came out. In fact, Showboat almost bankrupted Universal because it came out during a time period known as the Great Depression, which was a really great time for the world history. Now, the time of had to stay afloat during that time because people didn't have a lot of extra money to go to movie theaters. So, a lot of big movie studios did, like MGM, Disney, Universal. We started focusing more specifically on one genre of film. MGM, for example, did movie musicals. Warner Brothers did the gangster film. Disney obviously did the animated feature, but Universal, we decided to focus on the monster movie. Films like Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein, Frankenstein's Ghost, Abbott and Costello, Frankenstein 64, that last one, but a lot of the big classic monster movies come from start right here in Little Europe, which is one of our most historic sets here on this studio lot. Now, monster movies are great and all, but what's the most shot here? Well, if you're a fan of half-hour comedies, you might recognize this as a set of The Good Place.
Location. Afterlife. I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad. What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Little Europe also served as the fictitious town or country of Genovia for Princess Diaries 2, a royal engagement. In fact, the street that we're currently coming up on was utilized in the famous parade scene where Princess Mia saw a group of girl orphans who were very sad, down on her way, so she brought them up onto her boat to make them princesses for a day. And speaking of princess movies, right over here on the right-hand side, we have our Court of Miracles, which was utilized for Roger Hammerstein's Cinderella, starring Brandy, Whitney Houston, Bernadette Peters, and Whoopi Goldberg. Now, a lot of times we get questions like, well, why would productions shoot here at Universal Studios? Well, two main reasons. One, flexibility and convenience. Because you need both to be successful here in Hollywood. You may have noticed that a lot of our larger exterior sets are suggestive of certain areas, but it's not like you can definitely say, oh, that's Paris, France, or oh, that's downtown New York. Primarily, we try to keep our large exterior sets vague enough so that way when productions come in during the location scouting phase or the pre-production preliminary phase, they can come in and see how they can really transform and elevate these locations. As you saw in The Good Place, they added a lot of extra florally bright colors, a lot of other set pieces and decorations, all of which can be found in our Eden Head Property Research Department, which houses over 5,000 individually labeled props. We even have more props, but a lot of them aren't even labeled because there are so many. In fact, we like to say if you can't find it in the prop house, it probably does not exist. And one of my favorite monster movies I've shot over here in Little Europe was Frankenstein, which Frankenstein was a very interesting story about how it all came about. In fact, take a look up on your screens.
I am Dracula.
Now that man is Bela Lugosi, the original Dracula. He was one of Universal's biggest stars at the time. He was also very well known for his theatrical training and would even do his own makeup, kind of like these photos right over here. But Universal Studios approached him after the success of Dracula and came up to Mr. Lugosi and said, hey there, look, so we have this new monster movie coming out, right? And we're thinking it's going to be a smash hit, but we need you to play the movie monster since you already played Dracula. What do you think? He said, let me review the script and I'll get back to you in a few days. Well, he read the script and was not quite pleased with Universal. He came back to them and said, how dare you insult me? I am a classically trained theatrical actor, and this movie monster has barely any lines. Can anyone guess what those lines were? Oh, yes, correct. The other one was fire. And his third line, oh, fire, bad. And so Bela Lugosi was like, I'm not going to do this. I don't want my name attached to it because I'm not going to be the star of the film. Talk about a diva. And so he rejected the Frankenstein movie. And so Universal was looking around. They were like, who else can we find to play this tall, lurching monster that's scary and intimidating, but still has good physical movements. So the producers of the film were walking through the Universal commissary, and they found a man named Boris Karloff. Here's Mr. Karloff himself. Universal approached Mr. Karloff and said, hey, you're an actor, right? And he said, yeah. And they're like, we have a proposition. Read through the script. We want you to play the Universal movie monster known as Frankenstein's monster. We're thinking it's going to be a big smash hit, put you in some cool makeup and a cool costume, and it'll be famous all around the world. What do you say? Alright. And so they actually worked extensively with Mr. Boris Karloff to create the individual's makeup for that film. Here you see they're having a bust being made of his upper torso, so that way they have all the facial prosthetics specifically customized to Mr. Karloff's face. Many times, any special effects makeup, that's one of the steps they have to go through. They have to create a bust or a mold of the actor's face and upper chest, and also other body parts depending on how extensive the makeup is going to be, because all those prosthetics have to fit specifically on his face and look somewhat natural at least. And then here he is actually getting fitted for his makeup for the film. You can see the iconic bolts in his neck, the brain or the skull being stitched back together with staples. And here is the finished product. This is actually a scene from The Bride of Frankenstein. Oh, me too, girl. Now this picture is really interesting and kind of disturbing because when they were filming the movie Frankenstein, the production crew and the producers didn't want to spoil the surprise of the movie's monster. So when they were transporting Mr. Boris Karloff from the hair and makeup department to actual set or anywhere around the Universal Studios lot, they didn't want to frighten any of the background actors or any of the small kids that were on set. So they would literally put a burlap sack over his head and have someone escort him from hair and makeup to the set or vice versa. However, we can pretty much say that Frankenstein became one of the most successful Universal monster movies, spanning many offshoots like The Bride of Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein, Frankenstein's Ghost, meets Abbott and Costello, also creating one of the most famous monsters in the entire world. This also helped launch Mr. Boris Karloff's career into stardom. He later would go on to play one of the original mummies from 1932, which actually just recently celebrated its 90th birthday, so happy birthday to the mummy. Welcome to Soundstage 50. Trusted FBI?
Yeah, we're here about the human remains.
That's him. Right over there.
You're right.
The following scene from episode of the actually required not only the use of soundstage script, but also the use of one of our other sound stages. The train sequence actually took place inside one of our sound stages where they have the train car put onto a very specific track that is designed to simulate and recreate an 8.3 magnitude earthquake, and then all the special effects that you're seeing going on inside the actual train station that was shot over at sound stage 15. Now I know that earthquake probably left a lot of us a little shook up and stressed out, so we're actually going to be taking a small beach detour to relax on the beach, do some sunbathing, maybe grab a margarita whiteboard from Margaritaville. And don't you worry, folks, there is no giant baby shark in the water any longer. In fact, my boyfriend Tom's a scuba diver here at Universal, and he said that we have the all clear to go swimming in the lake. Yes, it is one of the oldest jokes here on the Universal Studios tour, and I always love to tell it because sometimes people switch it up on me. I appreciate that. Now, on the very first day of filming, before the movie John, the cannibal shark broke up the film, Bruce, kind of like our Bruce right over here, were trying to fix that shark, but they were freaking out as well because they were like, how are we going to make up for all this lost time and money? Well, luckily for them, they had a girl woman on the team, and that woman's name was Verna Fields, the film editor. So she approached Steven Spielberg, the director of Jaws, and she said, Steven, listen, so what we're going to do, we're going to dress up my pool to look like the bottom of the ocean. And then, get this, we're going to shoot the movie from the shark's perspective. I know, revolutionary work. You know what? That is going to help save our film. You know what? She was absolutely right. Jaws, after adjusted for inflation, is the 7th highest grossing film and actually helped set up and create and invent the model that is the summer blockbuster that has been used by the studio system decades since. Jaws was released in the summer of 1975, which for beachgoers at the time was probably very inconvenient to them. Now over here on the right-hand side, we are passing by our full-fitness chicken ranch location. This is one of the few practical sets here on the Universal Studios lot. You can film both on the inside and on the outside. Now coming up shortly, once again, comes one of those NDA cars I'm not supposed to be talking about, but I'm not going to stop you guys from looking around. Hi there, production crews. You guys are killing it. Now, currently, folks, we just passed by Colonial Street, which I will mention is being utilized by production. Some of the productions of the show on Colonial Street include films like Casper the Friendly Ghost, TV shows like Desperate Housewives, and even music videos like Nellyville. In fact, let's take a look at some of them. Everyone say, hey, Bumblebee! Oh, sorry guys, I thought he was going to transform for you. I guess he's pretty tired from all those meetings in the park. Excuse me. You know, being a tour guide is an exhausting job. I think we all deserve a little bath break. How does that sound? Oh, lovely flush. We're going right next door to the Bates Motel, which I hear has such a little room for us, but management's a little bit psycho, so I don't know how long we're going to stay here. Oh boy, I just hope the manager's in, because I have a quick few worries. Oh, look at that. It's the manager of the Bates Motel. Hey, Norman, how's it going? Normie. Hi there, sir. Please remember to remain seated, sir. Hey, Norman, you gonna come say hi to us? I think we have some guests here in the first car who want to talk to you. It's this guy right here. I'm just kidding, sir. It's me. I have some beef with Norman. Oh. Just kidding, Norman. We don't have any beef. We're all good. You guys, I'm starting to get really nervous. Corey, can we go, please? Everyone wave. Hi, Norman. Nothing to see here, and he's got a knife. That's not good. Oh boy. Go for car 1. I'm just kidding. Go for car 4. Oh, he almost got you, car 4. He almost got you. I'll see you tomorrow night, Norman. We're best buds. We go on friendly dates. But I will say, coming up over here on the left-hand side, we're already passing by one of the biggest celebrity sightings here on the Universal Studios Store. And by biggest, I mean quite literally one of the biggest. Over on the left-hand side is the one, the only, the original Psycho house of Alfred Hitchcock's classic 1960 thriller, Psycho, starring Anthony Perkins. In fact, Psycho was recently named the #1 best film of all time according to Variety magazine, beating out films like Bridesmaids, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Days Confused, and even topping films like Brokeback Mountain. But now, folks, welcome to our infamous War of the Road game hashtag, which, talk about a killer block party. Nice. And yes, folks, before anyone asks, that is a real decommissioned Boeing 747 that was purchased by Paramount Pictures for a measly $60,000. But going to talk to you a little bit more about the creation and setup for our plane crash that is Rick Carter, the production designer for the film, and also the director himself, Mr. Steven Spielberg. So guys, whenever you're ready, take it away. Mr. Spielberg, that's your cue.
The airplane crash site was a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision speaking.
You said, again, to sit down to talk about I thought, what if the 747 goes down, right? And it couldn't be over. Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. You got something. Listen, use your close your eyes, okay? Stay close.
Bobby, get in. Get in.
Alrighty folks, I do want to remind you that we are about 10 minutes from the end of the studio tour, 10 to 15 to be exact. So just once again, please remember to remain seated at all times while the trolley or the tram is in motion. And of course, remember to pull that red emergency cord if ever heading need any assistance. So now folks, for over 100 years, we've worked with some pretty awesome directors. Directors like Alfred Hitchcock, Steven Spielberg, and most recently, Jordan Peele. Welcome to the original set of Jupiter's Plane as seen in Jordan Peele's old film. No, Mr. Peele, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible mission and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Plane, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Duke Park. Have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie kid show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? But down, you can see the brand new Soundstages experience. To showcase the It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot.
Corey, I think it's time for us to get out of here. Yes, folks, that is the original set of Jupiter's Plane from Jordan Peele's latest film, Nope. Now, obviously, it looks a little bit different from what you see in the actual film. That's because they're going to have some new rounds that have been created around the studio tour. Now, in fact, that is the first time in Studio Tour's history an attraction has opened up the same weekend that inspired it. Many times we have to take a couple months or maybe even a year or so. For example, Jaws originally premiered in 1975, and the attraction didn't open up until 1976. Ooh, alrighty folks, we are now entering the grand finale of the studio tour, so let's see if I can remember my lines for this one. Oh no folks, we're going to the seemingly random truck repair garage. I hope everything's okay with the tram, Corey. What's that, Dispatch? Using special guests here for our guests? Well, I will do just that. That's just a second. Stay with us, your next program. That's very franchise, guys. Let's hear it.
Especially you right there in the third row.
guy, don't move.
Bill?
That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not...
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. I got it. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours.
Hobbs, escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss.
Got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
You see what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate.
Sure traced us. Hobbs can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll. This is our turn.
After them!
Okay, guys, it's showtime! Come to the left! This thing ain't moving fast enough! Roman, Letty, hook him up!
Hit it!
I got to move my horn!
Now we're moving!
Correct, we're calling it a day. The witness is mine, Letty.
How about you eat asphalt?
Don't think you're getting away. Call it the balls.
Way to go, Letty.
Don't call it a missile shot.
Not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got this.
Under construction!
Hit the nitrous!
We're not gonna make it!
Ride or die! They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys did good out there. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
Aw, thanks, guys. Well, now, folks, we talked about work before. You guys did the studio tour. You guys have a good time. I don't believe you. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna make me cry. Thank you so much for joining us on the World Famous Universal Studios Tour. And also a big special shout out to our annual pass holders. Thank you for coming back again and again. And if you're not an annual pass holder, don't worry. You can visit one of the box offices here at Universal, either here on the upper lot across the Starbucks or downstairs next to the Mummy, to see if you turn your general admission ticket into an annual pass. That way, you keep coming back again and again to see my beautiful face. Or any of the other tour guides, but mostly me, right? Right? Yeah, that's a hard one. Now before we get back to the park, make sure you gather any loose belongings that you brought on board, especially any trash, which can be thrown away in trash receptacles. And also please remember to remain seated until the gates on the left-hand side have been opened for you by one of our studio tour ambassadors. You can also drop off the studio glasses on the left-hand side and the big blue bins that say, please return glasses here. Our park is open until 8 p.m. tonight. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about the studio tour, anything here in the park, or just want to come see me talk to my face, my name is Zach once again. I'm also one of the VIP tour guides here at Training Park. If you have questions about the VIP experience, come find me standing right next to the studio directory and I'll answer any questions. And enjoy the rest of your day here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA. Thank you guys, and enjoy your day.